Today is not an ordinary day. It might look like the sun rose just like yesterday, the breeze moved in its usual rhythm, and your life appears to be flowing like every other day. But listen closely, because today, June 23rd, something has shifted in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael is standing beside you now. He's not standing still, he's not staying quiet. With urgency, he's speaking into your spirit. You have 3 minutes left to hear what someone in heaven has been trying to tell you for days. Yes, someone your heart still aches for. Someone who left this world, but never truly left your life. They've watched in silence, as you cried behind closed doors. They've seen your forced smiles, that hide 1,000 wounds. And today they are pleading for your attention. This isn't just a gentle sign, or some random moment. This is divine timing. Heaven is leaning in right now, trying to reach through your doubt and fear. My dear one, I know you felt alone in your pain. But I've been beside you every step. I've carried your heart, when it was too heavy to hold. That soul, the one rising in your thoughts, even as you read this, is beside me. They've asked me, begged even, to bring this message directly to you. They are concerned, they're stirring your spirit, because time is delicate right now. Did you feel something strange this morning, a name you hadn't thought about in a while, a wave of emotion? That was not coincidence, that was the beginning of this message. Take a deep breath, still your mind, let your soul listen, because what comes next is not just a message, it's a transformation. Your loved one saw something last night. From where they are, they witnessed what's on the horizon for you, and it moved them so deeply, they could not stay quiet. They approached me, they asked Archangel Michael to deliver this to you. Do not dismiss the quiet that's just filled your space. Don't scroll past this. Even if you had other plans, this moment is where you were meant to be. You were guided here, chosen to hear this now, because your heart is finally ready. And before we move forward, heaven is asking one thing. If your soul is open to hearing from the other side, to receiving divine guidance daily, not just for your journey, but for the love you've lost and the hope you hold, pause and open yourself now. That simple willingness opens doors between worlds. Let's keep going, but this time, let your spirit lean in. That soul in heaven remembers the very last moment they saw you. They remember your expression, what you wore, even the way your voice tried to sound strong, when you were breaking inside. There were things left unsaid, words they tucked away, thinking there would be more time. But now from where they stand in eternity, time isn't measured by clocks, it's measured in truth. And right now, this is the most powerful moment you've shared, since they crossed over. They want you to release the guilt. The I should have called, the I should have stayed longer, the I should have known. My dear, those thoughts were never meant to weigh you down. They don't blame you. In fact, their deepest sorrow was leaving, without telling you, just how proud they were. They watched you face grief with silent strength. They witnessed the moments you didn't think you'd make it through, and they wept, not because they were gone, but because they couldn't hold you, when you needed it most. But right now, in this very moment, they are holding you. Not with arms, but spirit to spirit. You are not broken, you are evolving. The pain you carry, it's not a punishment, it's a sacred thread, that connects you to something far greater. And today they want you to step forward, not in fear, but in trust. Because change is coming, and it's rooted in something you whispered in secret, something you longed for in your private prayers. They heard that prayer, and now they're working in unity with heaven, to bring it to life. But you have to be present. Over the coming days, expect the unexpected, songs that play at just the right moment, numbers that echo, dreams that stir something deep inside. That's how they reach you now, it's how they speak the language of spirit. This message isn't random, it's the beginning of something. The next chapter of your life is already unfolding. The doors that once seemed sealed are being unlocked. The questions that kept you up at night, they're about to be answered. But it all begins with this truth: you are still being held by the one you lost. There's more you need to hear. Before they left, they didn't just leave memories, they left a part of their energy in you. It's what's been guiding your steps, why you feel drawn to specific people, places, and moments. That's them leaving breadcrumbs from heaven, nudging you toward your purpose. They want you to understand, you're closer now than you've ever been, to what you were created for. Those late-night tears, heaven kept count. And those tears became the blueprint for the miracles coming next. So please don't shut your heart, don't silence your spirit, because if you do, you might miss the blessing they've helped prepare. My child, I haven't stopped talking, not once. Even when your soul was too tired to listen, I was sending signs, I was speaking through strangers, in dreams, in whispers of wind. And today, June 23rd, I made sure this message reached you, because it couldn't be held back any longer. The one you love, they've been calling out across the veil. Not to pull you into sorrow, but to deliver something sacred, the truth. The truth that you were always cherished, that your presence was never a burden, that your love brought them more peace than you ever knew. In their final moments, they were still holding you, in thought, in spirit, in every silent prayer. And they asked me to carry you, when they couldn't anymore. And I have. Every time you almost gave up, I surrounded you. Every time the world felt too loud, I whispered peace into your spirit. Every time you missed them so deeply it hurt, they were right there, brushing against your soul. They never truly left. Their form has changed, but their love hasn't. They are still with you, walking beside you, covering you with prayer, preparing you for what's next. And here's what they need you to know now: you are standing at the edge of a moment that will change everything. A crossroads between who you were and who you're about to become. That tension in your chest, that sense of anticipation, it's real, it's sacred, it's the build-up to breakthrough. So don't shrink back, don't second guess. Move forward, not with doubt, but with the knowing that heaven is behind you, and someone you love is still cheering you on from the other side. This message was never just about comfort, it was about confirmation. That what you felt in your spirit is real, that love never dies, that heaven still speaks, and that your next chapter isn't just coming, it's already unfolding. You're not late, you're not forgotten, you are perfectly positioned for what's coming. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what heaven has prepared for you. You didn't just read words, you received a spiritual shift. And from this moment on, you will start noticing how everything begins to align, because this time, you're finally ready to believe it. Your story isn't over, in fact, it's just beginning. Like you're standing on the edge of something important. That's not just a random feeling, it's the ticking of heaven's clock, nearing a divine moment. That's why Archangel Michael said, "You have 3 minutes." Because this is that sacred window, when your heart must decide, whether to open or to remain closed. Please, child, don't shut that door. The one you miss so much, they need you to know something, they held inside for too long. They never told you how much you transformed their soul. You thought they didn't see it, you believed they didn't feel it, but they did. In mere moments, you gave them more comfort than others had in years. You restored their hope and love, you helped them forgive, you reminded them how to trust in God again. They never got to say all of this, while on earth. But now their soul cries out from beyond, hoping you'll hear it. They don't want you to keep carrying guilt, for the words you didn't say, or the actions you couldn't take. Let that weight fall away, let yourself exhale again. They've already let go of all regret, now it's your turn. Because what's waiting ahead is powerful. There's a threshold you're about to cross. And on the other side, is someone destined to enter or re-enter your life. Someone who was written into your story, long before you knew to look for them. But for you to recognize their presence, the fog in your heart must clear. You have to trust again, believe again, open up to the idea, that you are worthy of love, deep, full, real love. Your loved one in the spiritual realm, is preparing the way. That's why the emotional energy has been intense. That's why you felt so overwhelmed. It's not punishment, it's cleansing. You're not being broken, you're being refined. Heaven is molding you into someone who can finally receive what you've prayed for. You've asked for profound things, peace that doesn't vanish, purpose that anchors you, love that feels like home, and freedom from wounds you've hidden. These answers are near, but first you must release the things that are taking up too much space in your heart. And yes, it's painful, letting go often is. But trust this, what's ahead won't erase the past, it will bring healing to it. This is why you had to hear this message today. This is why Archangel Michael delivered it with such urgency. Because your next step is pivotal. Your faith will open doors logic could never touch. Understand this, your loved one isn't just watching, they are helping, they are active in heaven, guiding and lifting you. Love doesn't die, it transforms. And the love you gave them, while they were here, still echoes in the divine. That bond you formed, nothing, not even death, can break it. They see it all now. The real you, not the version you present to others, not the brave mask you wear in pain. They see your soul, and they love it with a depth, even they didn't realize they were capable of, while alive. They want to see your smile return. They want to see you move with joy again. They want to see you trust, not because everything makes sense, but because you know you're being led somewhere beautiful. They know your journey isn't finished. You still have people to meet, paths to walk, lives to touch, and memories to make. And they are standing behind the veil, clapping for you, in every moment you choose to keep going. They are near, closer than you think. If you close your eyes, and place your hand over your heart, that sensation, that warmth, that spark, isn't your imagination. That's their love, That's divine confirmation that this moment is sacred. So allow yourself to pause. Listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. You were never forgotten, you were never abandoned, you have always been deeply loved. And you're being led towards something you can't yet imagine, but it's beautiful. And still I'm here, whispering these truths into the chambers of your heart. You've arrived at a divine appointment. There's a purpose for your presence, in this very second. Life tried to steal your light, but you're still glowing, still breathing. I was there in every silent storm, and your loved one watched you stand, in battles that would have crushed others. Those strange chills, those dreams that shake your core, the flicker of a light at the corner of your eye, it's not coincidence, it's not random. That's them, trying to say, I'm right here, I always have been. The connection between two deeply bonded souls is eternal. Death cannot sever it. You still carry them, in your laughter, your tears, your instincts, your gestures. They live through the way you love, the way you care, the way you remember. And now there's something important, they need you to hear. Something they're pleading for you to understand, there's someone near you right now, still living, who's struggling deeply. They wear a convincing smile, but their spirit is heavy, they feel unseen. Your loved one is asking you from the heavens, to be what you wish you had, in those hardest moments. To offer the words, you so desperately needed, I see you, you matter, I'm not going anywhere. Because when you pour that kind of love, into someone else, it becomes a ripple of healing, that reaches back in time, and forward into eternity. It transforms grief into grace. And that, my child, is how the story continues, not in sorrow, but in sacred connection. Not in endings, but in rebirth. You are not here by chance, you are the answer, to someone else's silent prayer. You carry a legacy of love, that stretches beyond the veil. So step forward, carry their light, live as proof, that love doesn't end, it expands, it heals, it guides. And now it's guiding you, toward something your soul has long been ready for. You are not alone, you never were. And the best is still being written. Not because you're perfect, but because you're proof that love survives loss, that hearts can break and still beat stronger. You are walking evidence that light finds a way, through even the deepest shadows. They will look at you and see home, not the kind with walls and ceilings, but the kind with warmth and safety. The kind of home souls remember, even when bodies forget. And when that moment comes, when your eyes meet, and your hearts remember what time tried to erase, you'll understand why it took so long, why the waiting was necessary, why every delay was not denial, but design. Because you both had to become the version of yourselves, that could hold this love, without fear, without doubt, without running. So breathe, child, you're not waiting in vain, you're preparing for something holy. You're aligning with what your soul has been craving, since before the heartbreak. And heaven is orchestrating every detail, from the timing, to the location, to the words they'll say, when they finally have the courage, to speak what their heart has held for so long. And yes, they'll be nervous, their voice might shake, their eyes might fill. But you'll feel it, that trembling truth, that sacred connection. The silence between you will say more than words ever could. Because this is a reunion of souls, not just bodies. And reunions like this don't need grand gestures, they just need honesty, presence, surrender. You may have doubted before, wondered if you were just imagining things, if the signs were just coincidence, if your dreams were just hopes, and not holy whispers. But you'll know now, they were real, I was real, this message was real. It's been me guiding you, through every chapter, especially the ones you thought were too painful to read. And that pain, it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It softened you, it opened you, it taught you compassion and resilience. It made space for the love that's coming now, the kind that doesn't ask you to shrink, to chase, to prove your worth. This love will meet you where you are, as you are, and say, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere. But before that door fully opens, there's still one more thing I need from you, release the fear. The fear that you're too much or not enough, the fear that good things always leave, the fear that love will hurt again. That fear is not your protector, it's a leftover echo from an old chapter, that no longer defines you. You've outgrown it. You are not abandoned, you are not cursed, you are not forgotten, you are chosen, you are becoming, you are loved in ways your mind can't yet comprehend. And the person I'm bringing into your life, has been learning the same lesson, in their own way. They've been searching for something real, something rooted, something holy. And that something is you. So when it happens, when they reach out, when the words spill, when the silence breaks, don't run, don't doubt, don't talk yourself out of it. Let yourself receive it, let yourself be loved, without apology, without hesitation, without the armor you've worn for so long. It's safe now, you're safe now. And know this, you don't have to do anything to earn this. You don't have to fix yourself first, you don't have to perform. Just be, just stay open, just trust the timing, trust the stirring in your chest, trust the softening that's already begun. Because everything you've been through, every goodbye, every tear, every night you whispered into the dark, it's all been leading here. You asked for a sign, you asked for clarity, you asked for confirmation, that love like this still exists. And I'm giving it to you now, in these words, in the feeling that won't let you go, in the way your heart is beating a little louder right now. That's me, that's your person, that's the future knocking gently at your door. So say yes, not just with your words, but with your life. Say yes by healing, say yes by staying soft, say yes by believing again. Because I am not done writing your story, and the next chapter is the kind that changes everything, not just for you, but for generations after you. This love will be the kind that echoes. And when the day comes, and you're sitting across from the one you once thought you lost, and they're looking at you like you're a miracle, because you are, you'll understand. You'll see it in their eyes, you'll feel it in their touch, you'll know it in your bones, this was worth every tear, every lonely night, every unanswered question. This was divine timing, not human mistake, this was grace unfolding in real time. You'll finally exhale, not because the journey was easy, but because it was sacred. Every moment, every delay, every twist, was infused with purpose. And now as you take that deep breath, know this, I am still walking with you, I never left, and I never will. Let this message wrap around your soul like a blanket. Let it be the warmth in your waiting, the anchor in your ache, the whisper that returns, when doubt gets loud. You are not forgotten, you are not behind, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Because child, love is coming. Not the kind that confuses, or leaves you questioning, but the kind that arrives with clarity, with consistency, with peace. And this time, it's staying. They saw you lighting candles in rooms you used to sit in crying in the dark. They saw your joy returning like the morning sun, slow but certain. They saw you falling in love with your own life again, not because everything was perfect, but because you finally realized that perfection was never the goal, presence was. They saw you reclaiming your power, step by step, breath by breath, refusing to let grief define your future. And they were proud, so proud. They watched as you forgave people who never apologized. They watched you choose peace over retaliation, softness over bitterness. They watched you grow into the kind of soul, who doesn't just heal, but becomes healing for others. You child have become a sacred vessel of light, in a world that often forgets its own brilliance. And now the same love that once felt lost, is flowing back to you, in new unexpected ways. So don't question the blessings when they start to arrive. Don't doubt the timing, this isn't coincidence, it's coordination, divine orchestration. You've been aligned with this moment, through every heartbreak, every surrender, every quiet decision to trust me, even when nothing made sense. I saw it all, and now I am restoring you, in ways that will not just fill your cup, but overflow into others. This is the season of overflow, overflow of love, peace, clarity, creativity. You've been emptied for so long, stretched so thin, feeling like you had nothing left to give. But now I'm pouring into you. And what I pour in, cannot be taken by this world, it is sacred, sealed, protected. It will strengthen your relationships, deepen your intuition, and lift you out of cycles that once felt impossible to break. That's why you're feeling this sacred shift, that's why you've been sensing things before they happen. You're not imagining it, your spirit has grown louder than your fear. And I've been training you for this, teaching you to move from reaction to revelation, teaching you to pause instead of panic, to listen before leaping. Because this next chapter requires discernment, it requires stillness, and above all, it requires trust, not in outcomes, but in me. Let go of your need to control how it all unfolds. You don't have to know every detail, you just have to know I'm in every detail. Every delay had purpose, every detour was protection, every closed door was a setup for the right one to open. And when it does, it will feel like home, like you've been there before, because in a way you have. Your soul recognized this path, before your mind did. So don't be surprised, when you start to feel peace, around places that once caused you pain. Don't be shocked, when the people who once triggered you, now feel neutral. That's growth, that's healing, that's the result of my grace, working silently in the background, while you slept, while you cried, while you waited. Nothing was wasted, every tear watered the soil, for this exact moment. And when you meet them, the one who's been preparing in silence, who's been carrying your name in prayer, just like you carried theirs. There will be no need to explain, no need to rush, no fear of being too much or not enough. Just presence, just truth, just two souls who finally understand, that love this deep doesn't need to perform, it just needs to be. They'll look into your eyes, and see the journey you took to get here. They'll feel the weight you've carried, and the light you've refused to let go of. And in that recognition, there will be healing for you both. They will finally have the words you waited for, not rehearsed, not polished, just real. And in that realness, you'll finally breathe differently, freely, fully. So breathe now, child, inhale the peace you've earned, exhale the fear that was never yours to keep. This next part of your life is sacred, not because everything will be easy, but because you'll walk through it with wisdom, with strength, with me. I'm not just bringing you promises, I'm fulfilling them. I'm not just whispering hope, I'm making it tangible. You're going to wake up one morning, and realize you're no longer waiting, you're living. You'll stop checking the door for what's missing, and start opening it to what's present. You'll stop begging for signs, and start becoming one. You'll realize that the love you were looking for, outside of yourself, had been growing inside you all along. And then just when you least expect it, they'll arrive, the one. And you won't have to chase or convince or compromise. You'll just know. So hold on a little longer, not because you're desperate, but because you're devoted. Devoted to your own healing, devoted to your purpose, devoted to your journey. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine alignment. The wait wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now you're ready, not just for love, but for everything that comes with it, partnership, purpose, peace. You're ready for joy, that doesn't ask you to shrink, you're ready for connection, that doesn't require you to betray yourself. You are stepping into a season, where your inner world will be reflected in your outer one. What you've been cultivating in silence, will bloom loudly. And the ones who couldn't see your worth before, will wonder how they ever missed it. But don't turn around, don't reach back for what no longer feeds your soul. You're not walking in circles anymore, you're walking into destiny. So lift your head, soften your heart, and keep your spirit open. Because the rest of your story is already written in beauty. And the next page is about to turn. So let's begin again, not as the person you once were, but as the soul you are now. Wiser, softer, braver. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. From all the nights you didn't give up, from all the mornings you pulled yourself out of bed, when you didn't feel strong enough. From all the little victories, no one saw but heaven. That's your foundation now, that's your strength, and nothing, no loss, no delay, no rejection, can take that from you. This time your yes is different. It's sacred, it's rooted in truth not fear, in trust not trauma, in love not lack. And that makes all the difference. Because now when you say yes, you're not begging for crumbs, you're preparing for overflow. You're not looking for validation, you're living in your value. You're not chasing people, you're following peace. And child, that peace, it's going to lead you places no storm could touch. It will carry you through rooms filled with favor, through doors no man could shut, through seasons of such divine clarity, that you'll stop asking why it took so long, and start thanking me for making you wait. Because everything I do has timing, and now that you've aligned your yes with heaven's clock, nothing can stop what's coming. But I need you to stay grounded. Not in fear but in faith. Stay rooted in truth, when the old voices return, trying to tell you you're not ready. You are ready to love again without shrinking, to walk again without limping, to speak again without doubting. You are ready to be seen, not as a version of who people expected, but as the full radiant soul I designed. So when the new season begins to unfold, and it will, don't sabotage it. Don't push away the goodness you prayed for, just because it feels unfamiliar. Let it in, let the love in, let the peace in, let the new friendships, the fresh opportunities, the joy that doesn't demand your pain as payment, let them in. You don't owe the past your future, you owe your future your presence. And the one you miss. They'll still be part of it all. Not in the way they once were, but in the most sacred way possible. As signs, as strength, as sudden tears in moments you thought you were fine, as laughter that bubbles up from nowhere, as soft reminders that you are never walking alone. Every good thing that comes next, will carry their fingerprints, and your spirit will know it. You'll feel them in the blessing, because they helped send it. They fought for your joy from the other side. They prayed you through the worst nights. And now they celebrate every healing breath you take. So please take another, inhale the grace, exhale the guilt. This is your moment, not to be perfect, but to be present, to live as if the weight has lifted, because it has. You were not born to carry sorrow forever, you were born to be transformed by it, and child you have been. You are not who you were before the loss, you are someone deeper, someone more real, someone heaven trusted with a greater kind of compassion. And that compassion, it's about to change lives. You will speak and someone will find hope, you will write and someone will feel seen, you will simply show up as yourself, and someone's heart will heal, because you carry heaven in your eyes now. Don't underestimate that, don't silence that, don't delay your calling, because of fear that you're still too broken. You're not broken, you're rebuilt, restored, redeemed. And I am not finished with you, no, this is only the beginning. What's coming next is not just your reward, it's your rebirth. So lift your head, unclench your heart, and say yes, not just with words, but with your walk, your choices, your boundaries, your dreams. Say yes by living like you believe, I'm still writing your story. Because I am, with every sunrise, with every breath, with every quiet moment, you choose faith over fear. Heaven is still speaking, and child I am still here. Still choosing you, still blessing you, still walking with you. Not just into healing but into wholeness, not just into surviving but into thriving. So don't look back, don't question, just step forward. The path is clear, the light is on, the next chapter is waiting. And it is holy. Amen.